this is a little bit of what my home actually looks like, and I know so many other people have normal looking homes like this too. I feel like social media has really made so many of us feel like if our homes are not picture perfect, then we just can't enjoy them. And my home is far from that. And there are so many things that I need to get around updating around here. So today we're going to tackle just a few of those things that I've had on my list for a while. We've got a few doorknobs that I haven't changed out yet. So I think to start off with, I'm going to go ahead and get these tackled and out of the way. But first, I've got to get this old doorknob off. I'm going to wipe this down because it is very dirty. Okay, now we can get into installing this. I forgot the screwdriver. I'll be right back. I've been sitting here working in the dark. I didn't even think about it. I got to turn on the light. So our ceiling fan, we do have a light. We do have a ceiling fan in here, but the light part is broke on it, so we have to use a lamp. So I'm just trying to remember how I put this thing together because it's been a little while. And I don't think any of these come with any instructions. But the first time I did this, I had never replaced a doorknob. And I did it myself. So at one point, we actually did have these doorknobs installed here. But what happened was one of our dogs is separated from the other one. So we go on rotation. And our dogs we had a couple that were in here. And when it wasn't their turn to be out, they would just, hang out in here, hang out on the bed and stuff. But we kind of rearranged those schedules. And one day our dog that's not supposed to be with the other dogs somehow opened this door. So... oh, that reminds me. That's why I wanted it. I couldn't remember what way I wanted it. I wanted it on the other side so I could lock the outside. That way when she's out with us, which is Fudgy, she's our white American Bulldog pit mix. And I wanted to be able to lock this door from the outside so she couldn't come in here. She didn't bother anybody and they were all asleep, so they didn't even know she was in here. But y'all know I've talked a little bit, not much about it, but just a little bit on how we have had issues in the past. So we try to prevent things as best as we can. And unfortunately, that is just one thing that we have to do to keep everybody in the house safe. but that's why I am installing the lock on the outside of this door. That way none of them can open this without us being the ones that open it. So my husband was sleeping here. That's why I decided not to talk during this portion and I would just voice over later. But I would love to know if you guys like actually seeing homes that look lived in. I personally feel like I have noticed a huge movement of people who are moving away from wanting to see perfect Pinterest looking homes, especially with the huge rise of AI. And, I love seeing lived in homes. I love taking inspiration from Pinterest perfect homes too. But I also understand the reality I live in is I have 5 dogs. So is my home always going to look perfect? No. Is it always going to look clean? No. And that is just something that I have come to realize. But I love to take inspiration from it. Y'all have heard me talk so much about my Pinterest board for designing my home, but it's obviously not an everyday realistic standard. And I believe that every home probably has little home projects that you're wanting to get done, whether you live in a home that needs a lot of work like we do, or if you live in a newer home. I think everybody, for the most part, has something in their home they want to change up a little bit. And this hallway here that y'all kind of see with the arm wire, it needs a lot of work. It is the absolute worst room in the house, but I do think we're going to end up having to hire a professional for a couple of things around here, and that might be one of them. I haven't even fully showed that room on here yet, and it's just so bad, y'all. It needs a lot of work, but hopefully we will get there in time. And y'all, the funny things about these doorknobs is I've had like 70% of the doorknobs changed for probably months, maybe over a year now. And I just haven't got around to installing these last 3. So I think this definitely upgrades it, looks a little bit better. It's definitely more modern than I would have picked because I picked this one. I had a little bit different of a style, but I do think it looks good. We do need to work on getting some new front doorknobs though. I thought I had a package delivered, but I guess they were just driving by. So I've got to try to do a little bit of caulking in the bathroom, and I've got like 20 minutes until I have to swap the dogs out and stop what I'm doing so I can cook Ethan his food and make his tea for work. So I'm gonna try to do everything I can in the next 20 minutes. I at least want to be getting the caulking done, that way it can dry while I'm doing everything else. That way later on this evening I can go in there and touch up some paint. Taking care of your home doesn't have to mean huge renovations. You can do little improvements here and there to make it nicer. I've had to remind myself so much during this process that, I talk about small steps and small progress over time so much on this channel because it's a mindset shift that has helped me a lot. But sometimes it is still something I struggle with. I have to tell myself, no, you're stressing yourself out like you're trying to plan this huge, big renovation or makeover, and you just can't do it all at one time because I know how stressed out it makes me, and then that makes me not want to do it. It makes me not want to do my content. And if I do stress myself out and I put everything I have into one huge makeover, then it is a struggle to make myself want to film for the next few weeks because I'm just so tired and exhausted. But these things have been on my to-do list for quite a long time. And it's so funny how I just tend to put off the littlest things that take 5-10 minutes. But that's just what I do. I really wish that I would have painted this door before I put the doorknob on, but it kind of slipped my mind. I didn't even think about it. And I talk about it a little bit later in the video, but I'm going to have to go find some other type of paint and hope that I don't have to completely repaint the whole bathroom. I am really excited though, because I'm hoping that I'm going to get to redo the floor in the bathroom within the next 2 or 3 weeks. I've never shown the floor in the bathroom. It looks rough. And the reason for that is because we had something spill and we did not realize it. And it created a really bad weak spot in the floor. So we had to rip up most of the floor so we could replace some of the plywood. And in my opinion, there's still a spot that needs to be replaced, but my granddad says it's fine. But anyway, I'm hoping to get that soon. And y'all can see that blue right here shining through. And there are a few spots on some of the walls in the bathroom. Whoever lived here, I guess, before us decided they wanted a very bright blue bathroom. So it has been a pain over the years trying to cover that thing up.
Ready? Come on, Mama, take you outside. Come on, go ahead. Oh, I got sneezies. Okay. Come on, Mama, take it out. Yes, honey. Watch out. Watch out. Calm down, play. Okay. Calm down. Go ahead. Okay, I've got what I could done, and now I've got to pause so I can get Ethan's lunch ready for work. And then later this evening, I'm gonna try to do some touch-up paint if I can. But first, I need to get the counter cleared off. Some of the stuff I want to keep, and then the rest of it I'm just gonna toss in the trash can. I'm making broccoli, chicken, and cheese over rice for him to take to work. But thankfully last night I made the rice, so that's one less thing I have to do today. So just since we have been on topic a little bit today about the dogs, I know I've gotten just a couple comments, not very many, asking why sometimes you don't see them together in the footage.
Obviously, I explained Fudgy a while ago, but sometimes you will see Taz in here with me by himself, and he is our oldest dog. But that's because I do not cook. We do not do anything in the kitchen, eat, or anything while the four are out, just for safety issues. I know some things we do can seem extreme or people may not understand, but everything we do, we have been through this for years. We have dealt with things for a long time. And the things that we have put in place are for everybody's safety, our own safety and all of our dog's safety. So while I'm cooking, the other three are hanging out in there with their dad. And I also like to use this time as toy time too. Used to, they just got to have toys whenever they wanted to. And that started becoming an issue. And don't worry, I've washed my hands after touching raw chicken. But that started becoming an issue. So unfortunately, Taz is not able to be with any of the other dogs while they're playing with their toys. He has to be alone. He's gotten older, kind of, a little bit more grouchier. So he hangs out here with me while everybody else plays with their toys. And he plays with his own toy on the couch. I'm gonna add all of this chicken on top, and then later whenever I go to eat, I'll just cook me another chicken breast. I used to make this stuff all the time. I made it a little bit different, but I haven't made it in forever, so maybe he still likes it. Several of y'all have asked me to show more of me cooking, and y'all, I'm not a great cook. I know just a little bit, enough to get me by, but I'm not great at cooking at all. The little bit I've taught myself, I've learned from like YouTube or TikTok. Was going to go ahead and do some painting in the bathroom. Some of the caulk is still drying, but I figured I could paint a little bit on the edges where the blue is shining through. But I went looking, and apparently I don't have any paint left, and I thought I had some left in the color place jug. I have another one in here that's from Bear, but I'm scared it won't be the right color. So I'm just going to hold off on that. And then I was like, well, I'll put our ceiling tiles up because that desperately needs to be done. I've been meaning to do that for a long time, but then I couldn't find my utility knife. So we're just going to hope that scissors will work for this little project. Okay, I've got some leftover ceiling tiles. So the ceiling tiles in here, there used to be cabinets all the way up here, and we took them down because, for one, this door used to not be here. The door used to be over here. That's a different story for another time. But they had cut the cabinets off, and it looked real funny the way they had it for the refrigerator. So we just completely took them down, and then eventually we put this door here. But these specific ceiling tiles, I went on the hunt for them online, in store, everywhere. My granddad took them to a place that he knows about 35 minutes away, and they said the only company they knew of that made these exact ceiling tiles burnt down several years ago. They never reopened. So I've not been able to find these exact ceiling tiles in store, online, anywhere. So when we were taking down the dining room ceiling, we also had to fix it because there was also cabinets over it as well. And we took those out, so we had to finish that. And we replaced that with wood, and that looks really, really pretty. And I thought we were going to have to redo this. And my granddad was like, why don't you just save some of your ceiling tiles from the dining room and you can use them in your kitchen instead of having to redo the whole kitchen ceiling? And I'm like, that's a great idea. So that's what we did. It just thundered, and that scared me and Fudgy because I had no idea that it was supposed to rain today. It's okay, Fudgy. Oh, I need some sunglasses on because this stuff is falling in my eyes. I remember why I stopped doing this. Apparently I had to nail them up. And I don't know if I have any nails. Well, friends, I don't have any nails except roofing nails. So we won't be able to do this either. So I guess I'm going to end the vlog right here. I do plan to go tomorrow, and I'm going to be looking for stuff for around the house. But I also have to have this video posted tomorrow. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to the store, film this, and edit and do everything I need to. So I'm just going to end this right here so I can go ahead and finish editing the video. But I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I will see y'all Monday.